Okay with you? Let's begin. I'll say your name again. Your name is Mr. Glenn Coles. The speech title is called A Leap of Faith. A Leap of Faith, Mr. Glenn Coles.
Tonight, I will give each of you a gift. Once I've given you this gift, you will realize that you already have it. So perhaps the gift that I give is simply awareness of the value that you have already received. Mr. Contest Chair, honored judges, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. This year is a leap year. We have one extra day this year. Did you use it well? Now, what is a leap year? Well, let's look about first defining what is a year. Well, a few thousand years ago, some smart people began watching the stars in the sky, and they watched the constellations, and they realized that it changed every night. They changed position every night. So they started finding ways to chart and track the stars. And over time, they realized that 1 year was what it took to come back to exactly the same view of the constellations as we had before. And over time, that got fine-tuned, and they realized, oh, okay, a year is 365 days. But it wasn't, not quite. And in 45 BC, the Emperor Julius Caesar declared that they would have a new calendar that was to be used worldwide, and it was called the Julian calendar, of course, because his name was Julius. And it included two new months that were quite ego-driven. There was July for Julius, and there was August for his uncle Augustus. And in his calendar, the Julian calendar, they realized that the year was 365 and 1/4 days. So Julius Caesar said, okay, every 4 years, we're going to add one day. We're going to have a February 29th. And that was in 45 BC. And we've been doing that ever since. Well, that went on decade after decade, century after century. And finally, in 1582, Pope Gregory XIII and his mathematicians were concerned because they realized it's not quite 365 and 1/4 days. We've missed the calculation by 11 minutes. It's not 6 hours, it's 5 hours and 49 minutes. And 11 minutes a year is no big deal, but over 1,600 years, it makes a difference. And suddenly summer's starting at the wrong time and things were all screwed up. So they came out with the Gregorian calendar, and they made some changes to make it more exact. And that's the calendar that we use today. The prime difference is on the century marks. Sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't a leap year. So 1800 and 1900 didn't have a leap year. But this year, 2024, is a leap year. Thursday, February 29th of 2024. Did you treat it special? What'd you do? Now, if you're like most people, what you did was what you do on a normal Thursday. You got up, you fed the kids, you brushed your teeth, you went to work, you did whatever you do on a normal workday or weekday. If that's the case, you have an extra day. You have an extra day in your bank. There are 366 days this year, and your entire life is based around 365. So you have one day in your bank that you can use this year for whatever purpose you wish. So what are you going to do? You got a totally free day. What do you do with that time? Well, I'm going to give you some ideas. Firstly, you could explore. You could do a day trip somewhere in your area. There's something of interest. Go to the zoo, go to a museum, go to a historic site. Look around your area. There's something worthy of a day trip to go and explore. Or if you've got a lot of excitement in your life, you can choose to relax. I'm going to lie in a hammock. I'm going to read a new book and drink lemonade all day. That can be your free day. That can be your extra day. You could also choose to hibernate, go in your cave and spend 18 hours watching Game of Thrones episodes. You could also decide that I'm going to go to a spa. You could connect with people, connect with an old friend, look up an old friend, call your cousin you haven't talked to for 2 years, connect, bond with somebody on your free day. Or you could choose to learn something new, go to a workshop, take a class, go to the library, do some research, begin a new project, all kinds of things, of options to do with that free day. You could do something extreme. You could learn skydiving. You could go horseback riding. You could go to the butterfly emporium. Whatever you choose to do. Now, once you've claimed that extra day in your bank, you've taken that leap of faith. You've realized that if I have a free day, I can manifest something in that day simply by choice, by choosing my effort, by choosing my focus. So what if you gave yourself an extra day every year? Don't wait 4 years. Give yourself 1 a year, or 1 a month, or 1 a week. Imagine the adventures you could create if you had a totally free day every week. Fellow Toastmasters, you have an extra day this year. What will you do with it?